So, welcome back. Today we're covering Physics SL Paper 1. This paper has two parts, Part A and Part B. Together they last 1 hour and 30 minutes and are worth 36% of your grade. You get a calculator and the physics data booklet for both parts. Paper 1A is 25 multiple choice questions, which are worth 25 marks. Paper 1B is the database section, which is worth 20 marks, where you analyze experimental data. This replaced the old paper 3 from the previous syllabus. Let us talk about how to study for both parts and what strategies actually worked on the exam.
So the main thing that everyone says is to do practice papers. It's very important that you practice questions individually, and obviously for multiple choice questions, this is very easy to do on Revision Dojo and other similar websites. You can practice them individually, and you can even find paper 1B questions there. However, it is very important that you actually treat the paper as a whole and not just as separate questions, because there is a time pressure and you will have to decide that some questions are just not worth it for the time being. You will have to skip over some, come back later. You will have to skip some and never come back. And by practicing whole papers, you'll understand um, your particular expertise, and you'll know how to manage your time better.
So the first strategy which is particularly for paper 1A, it's to know your definition. The IB loves testing definitions in multiple choice questions. For example, what is acceleration or electric current and the specific heat capacity. These definitions must be memorized precisely, as one wrong can lead to you not getting the marks. And make a definitions list, for example, from the syllabus and review it regularly. This is the easiest mark gaining strategy in the test.
Is to be very careful with the graphs, because the IB frequently tests whether you can read and interpret the graphs in the multiple choice section. And knowing the difference between distance time, velocity time, and acceleration time graphs is very, very important. You need to know what the gradient of the line gives you and what the area under the line gives you. And these relationships come up again and again across all different topics. And if you see one of these graphs in the multiple choice questions, just take a moment, identify what are the axes, what is the actual line, and make sure you know everything before jumping to an answer.
That's right, Mr. Paul.
And what about paper one, Mishki?
So,
So what about paper 1B, Mishki?
so it's the database section, and which tests your ability to analyze experimental data. You receive data, usually in the form of a table or graph. You need to draw conclusions, handle uncertainties, and draw best fit lines, and also calculate the gradients.
This section is very skill based, and you have to make sure that you've practiced specific questions from each topic themselves, because it is very important that you know not only how to calculate uncertainties, but what uncertainties count for which topic.
So the last tip is to know your data booklet. The data booklet contains all the formulas and contains everything you need. On the exam day, you need to find things quickly, so you don't want to waste your time flipping through the booklet during the exam. So do it beforehand. Familiarize yourself with where everything is. Know which formulas are there and which you need to memorize. Some formulas are in the booklet, some are not. Being comfortable with the data booklet saves you time and reduces stress on the exam day.
And always remember, if you don't know the answer, you can always gamble. But these were our tips for physics paper 1.
That's right, Mr. Pop.
That's right, Mishki. And
Mhm.
we hope this helped.
And
Write
we'll,
us any questions in the comments.
and we'll see you in the